So, Monster Jam Game Night is back, and Monster Jam finally revealed their 2026 lineups. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at who's in what tour, and I'm not really going to be talking about Game Night that much. I mean, it's kind of similar to what happened last time, except it's a different setting, because apparently Scott's house is pretty much nothing but rubble. But let's go ahead and let's take a look first at the West, and then we'll move on to the East. Starting off is Stadium Series West. We have Tyler Menega and Gravedigger and Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger finally competing against each other since 2023. Then we have Caleb Blood and Sparkle Smash, Baru Sour and Zombie, Bryce Kenny and the all-new Rec Deck. A Bailey Circuit driver for Stadiums will be revealed soon. Jamie Gardner and El Toro Loco. Deidre Gardner going into Megalodon replacing Todd LeDuc. Cole Vennard and Black Pearl, Zach Gardner Wildside, Mike Christensen in Vendetta, and Dalton Widener in Shell Shocked. Gotta be honest, this lineup is actually a pretty good shakeup. Obviously you have Deidre Gardner making her full-time Stadium Series debut. We don't know who will be driving that Bailey Circuit truck, but it'll definitely be a surprise when we get to that. Bryce Kenny in a new identity, we'll see how he does. And everything else except for Dalton Widener's new design kind of feels relatively the same, but still a great shakeup nonetheless. Now we have Arena Championship Series West, which is also another one that is kind of a head scratcher. You have Matt Cody and Gravedigger. Armando Castro ended up getting demoted back to arenas in El Toro Loco. Ashley Sanford in Megalodon. Alex Barden in Earthshaker. Carson Williams in Monster Mutt. Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack. Meanwhile, Velociraptor doesn't have a driver yet, and Blake Granger, within just 1 year of being in Monster Mutt Dalmatian, already taken out of the ride, and he'll be driving a truck that'll be debuting soon. Who knows what that truck will be, but I'm looking forward to seeing what that will be. And I was going to say that Blake Granger has this down, but keep in mind, you also have Armando Castro and Matt Cody, and usually those two guys can really throw down, but also got to keep in mind, Tim Hall Jr. really stepped up this game towards the latter part of the year, so who knows what will happen when we get to the next part of the season. Now we have an interesting switch up. The Central Tour will no longer be a regular tour, but will now be given the Freestyle Mania treatment, as now that experiment that happened within the fall series is now turning into a full series during the winter. As we have Charles Pauken in Classroom Crusher. Yup, that's the son of Charlie Pauken already going into Monster Jam. We win. We have Brandon Telechka driving Zombie this time. Michaela Telechka back in Megalodon. Tony Oaks in Thunder Roars. Brianna Mahan in Bailey Circuit. I'm surprised she didn't get the stadium bid because she was advertised pretty heavily with the Bailey Circuit thing. But I guess they'll be given to somebody else, but who knows what that will be. Fernando Martinez and El Toro Loco. Kylie Kent driving a Sparkle Smash truck in this event. And this is her first Monster Jam series after driving Frostbite in the International Series through different tours like All-Star. And the Gravedigger driver, Weston Anderson. Yep, I could already see a lot of people ready to throw their computers or phones or whatever they're watching this on. But yeah, I kind of felt the same way, but I'm hoping next year they finally realize, because if Weston Anderson wins, which could be a possibility, he will be walking away with, get this, 5 straight arena titles. What in the actual is going on? So, if he wins, okay. And if he doesn't, I'll be shocked, but still, I think 2027, he's got to get that move to stadiums, either in a Gravedigger or something around the team. And then obviously find a Gravedigger driver or a new driver to drive Gravedigger in Freestyle Mania or whatever tour for next year. Or, might sound crazy, but don't bring a Gravedigger? I don't know, because they've done this before in the older days of Monster Jam. Like, even as late as Big As It Gets, there were some shows that didn't have Gravedigger. But maybe, who knows. Now it's time to take a short break since we're at the halfway point, as we're going to take a look at something from the Monster Jam Superstore that caught my eye and I was dying laughing just about 10 minutes ago which is the Monster Jam Gravedigger Stun Toy. It sounds very ridiculous that I'm saying this, and no, it is not some random meme that a Monster Jam fan posted on some random Discord server. No, if you go to Monster Jam's store, you'll find this. $16 is this stun toy. I wonder if it's like one of those freaking taser guns that the cops have sometimes. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, but I'll buy 7, thank you very much. Moving on over to the East Series. Sorry, the East Series. We have Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger, MJ Solario back in Monster Jam, back in El Toro Loco, Logan Ashline driving Sparkle Smash, Cody Saucier and Dragon, John Zimmer Sr. going from Zombie to Megalodon, John Zimmer Jr. back in Terminal Velocity, and the Robin Brothers once again back in Monster Jam with Crazy Train with Triton and Plain Crazy with Montana. Honestly, this might be the series to watch, because you have guys like John Zimmer Jr., Triton Robbins, Montana, and Cody Saucier that could really bring the A game. John Zimmer Sr., different truck, we'll see how he does with that. Logan Ashline, again, same thing with her, we'll see how she does. Kristen Anderson, although she struggles in stadiums, she's known to do well in arenas. And MJ Solario, being away from Monster Jam for quite some time, can't wait to see what he can bring to the table after his grand return. So this series, in my opinion, especially when it comes to the arenas, is the series to watch. And now we have Stadium Series East with Adam Anderson and Gravedigger returning for the first time in a couple years from being in the West Series. Jamie Sullivan gets promoted to go to the Stadium side, which now is a head scratcher because you have Weston Anderson staying in arenas, yet Jamie goes to stadiums? Weston's been competing longer, but anyway, that's just a debate for another day. Tristan England and JCB Digatron, Cynthia Gauthier and Lucas Stabilizer, Colt Stevenson, Thunder Roris, Cannon Murphy to beat. Wait, what the heck? Yeah, so apparently Chucky Pauken is going to be driving Classroom Crusher from now on. That caught me by surprise because with the promotional video, they made Cannon Murphy like he was the sole driver for the truck. Well, I guess we're wrong. I really don't understand, but moving on. Kevin Crocker in Megalodon, Joe Foley in El Toro Loco. Some of you might be surprised. For me, I'm not. I got the inside scoop at West Lebanon earlier, so I was expecting this. Jim Kohler in Avenger, Chris Kohler in Mayhem, Matt Pagliaro in Jester, and Mike Pagliaro in Excalibur. Nick is not there, which is pretty surprising. And that's it. As for the East Series, definitely a good stadium series, and honestly, might be my favorite of the two. There's definitely some great drivers that can really throw down. Not taking anything away from the West Series, but I think the East Series, in my opinion, might perform better, but we'll see when we get there. And that's pretty much it for the Monster Jam 2026 season reveal, as obviously, the tracks get revealed during the fall events, and the other drivers will get announced after the fact. Everything else, also after the fact. Thank you everybody for watching, and I got one last question to ask all you. When is Scott Jordan ever going to drive a monster truck? I mean, seriously, this man needs a break. I mean, it's been a year since he's lost the Colt Stevens pillow. He's very, very sad about it. And also, the house that he was in is completely reduced to nothing but grass. He's sad about it. He's sad about everything right now. He was traumatized when everyone went to his doorstep. I mean, look at his face. He's been through everything. It's like he's having a Vietnam flashback. Give him a truck, please. I want this man to smile again. Anyway, have a good one. I'm gonna go to therapy.